Hello Mzansi, welcome to yet another episode of The Link Up with your girl, yours truly, Faiza Stone. But I'm not alone. Joining me is my two favorite ladies. Hi ladies.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Eva Harris.
I'm Lonti Ngobese.
Now guys, if there are two things that make me weak, it's chocolate and men, which is what we'll be talking about today. But before we get into that, please do make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms. It's all day, and day is spelled D-A-E. And please do join the hashtag at the link up. So ladies, we're living in a new era, right? So I want you guys to tell me, is there still a Mr. Right, or should we just focus on Mr. Might?
Mr. Right. Oh,
They both kind of, have a link. Like, might it be? And then Mr. Right. Could Mr. Right be right,
Yeah.
So,
but the media has told us what Mr. Right, who Mr. Right is, what he looks like, or what he should look like, or what he should sound like, how he should dress, how he should talk to you. So, okay, personally, I don't believe in types. I feel like if you like someone, you just like someone.
Yeah.
But then, according to what we consume on television, like you believe that he must be tall, he must be dark, he must sweep you off your feet when you, I don't know, even if you did the wrong thing, but he must apologize, all those things, like.
Okay, so then what should Mr. Might look like, since the media has already put this platform that, Mr. Right should be like this, tall, dark, handsome, or a yellow bone, all those type of things. So how would you say Mr. Might? I don't know, how would you describe?
Just someone that you like.
Just someone that you like.
the context that I have from Mr. Might and Mr. Right, Mr. Might is that possibility,
Yeah.
he could turn into a Mr. Right.
Like a potential.
Yeah.
So you're still scanning him.
Okay.
Mr. Might is that we're dating. It's not serious. He might.
Okay. Let me pose this question. Would you say Mr. Might could be a friend with benefits, maybe, that could turn into Mr. Right? Is that what you're saying?
I've never done that.
Friends benefits thing.
I've never done that. I don't think I ever will.
Okay, but then what do you guys think?
Okay, maybe it could be someone that you know, or it could be maybe your friend, crush, or your friend that has just told you that they want you guys to be more than friends. So now you obviously maybe spend time with that person again, but maybe you're now looking at them at a different perspective.
Yeah.
So he might, or you guys might not date, but then I don't think this Mr. Right that we've been brainwashed to think is there. Like that type thing, I was talking about, that you have a type, I want him to be tall, I want him to be that, I want him to be that, he must exercise, he must do those. I just believe if you like someone, you like someone. So at times I think people miss out on people that they could date, or someone that they could get along with, because you are stuck on that mentality that I am looking for this specific person. So
outside of Mr. Right being, Mr. Right, what makes him being Mr. Outside of him being the tall, dark, the physical aspects, what makes Mr. Right the right man?
kind,
Yeah.
attractive, he has money.
Okay, I see the money never stays behind.
It's
So
always
tell
there.
me,
Wait, Mr. Right is one with my thing.
They say you can't eat love. You can't.
Mr. Might is his business is still in the process, and then he becomes right.
Maybe.
that's what I asked. Is it
Mr.
a
Might is the
process?
one, it's a process.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Mr. Might is a process. Mr. Right is we have ended the process. This is it.
So Mr. Right is
the
developed. Mr. Might is developing.
Okay.
I don't know.
So tell me, is there a thing like love at first sight, whereby we just see each other and then, I'm all over this guy, or he's all over me?
Yeah, I have fallen in love at first sight.
And then how
quickly
long?
fell out. That's
How long was
fast.
your relationship?
As fast as we saw each other.
How long did it last?
It wasn't such a serious relation. I think I was heavily infatuated rather than
Okay.
Love.
yeah, like love, man. It's bigger than the feels. So I think the first sight thing is more of the like that instant attraction.
Yeah.
So then later on, like you realize that they have their own things that you don't like.
Okay.
But then, Mr. Right, does it also not tie into the soulmate thing?
Is there a thing like a soulmate, first of all?
Yeah,
I believe that is love.
So no soulmate, but definitely love.
Yes.
Okay, ladies. So what are the qualities that you look for in a man for him to fall under the Mr. Right category?
Mr. Right.
Mr. Right.
Respectful.
In terms of looks as well. Don't
Looks.
exclude that.
Okay. I know that people always say that, hey, looks don't matter. But my cousin always says, think about the kids.
Yeah.
Think about the kids.
But you do know that like love, man, it's that thing that like it's beyond the physical, the looks.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of not been in love, but I've seen like relationships where I'm like, I don't know, man, like I'm not sure, are they really happy? Like they don't even look like they match in my own eyes. So I think love is the one, like it's beyond.
But then again, how do we see that people match? Is it because of complexion, height, weight,
like we see the physical.
race?
It's like this part not
question,
matching.
actually.
Because at times you'll see that they come from different races, and then maybe you're like, yes, they look together, they look good together, or times no,
Or
they
they'll make
don't.
cute babies together, you know.
Love.
I think man, deep down in your heart.
And another thing
this
is acceptance. Like if I marry a white guy, are they gonna accept him at home? Will they
Yeah,
not?
that's another thing.
Am I
Cultural
I'm expected to fall in love, or if I ever get married to a black guy, and then if it's a white person or a foreign person, what's gonna happen?
Just trailing back a little bit regarding the physical, what I wanted to mention is, for example, you find your Mr. Right, you guys are in love, fine ass brother, and then some stuff happens along the way that affects his physical appearance. Would you still be able to continue with that Mr. Right, or like that is no longer right for you?
If it's love, then you should be able to continue.
Longer, right?
That's why I say love is the one.
Because they always ask that question. If you say that, I love him because he looks great, I love him because he takes care of me. So if he was not to look great, what's going to happen? If the money
He turns
disappears,
broke.
what's going to happen? So you're not going to love him
It's
anymore.
just like with us ladies, like, oh, I've got this nice figure, oh, I'm nice and chubby. But when all that fades, all the beauty fades, now you stop using makeup. Now it's just you and your husband, like, or your boyfriend just knows you as you are. Will they still stay with you or what? And you know, sometimes people like are together for 5-10 years. They know each other through and through, like they've been there for each other. But all of a sudden, one day the guy or the lady just decides, you know what, I don't want you anymore. Does that relationship or that man still fall under Mr. Right or what then? Because now we're going for divorce. We're filing for divorce.
I don't think Mr. Right exists, honestly. I don't
What
think-
does?
Like Mr. Might. Mr. Might is always there.
But
Right,
they're always there.
Mr. Might, every man is a possibility to be with. But like being right, man, there is no Mr. Right. Like you just have to like take the bad and the good at the same time, because you will find out stuff later. What makes them Mr. Right? What makes them Mr. Right?
I think it's just personal.
For me, like how you treat me as my partner, and like I need to feel like you'll be able to protect me. I need to feel like if I have something that I want to talk about, I need to come to you. Like that communication needs to be there. So coming back to your question as to what makes him Mr. Right is, I need to be able to trust him. You know, I need to be able to communicate openly and freely with him in order not to make sure that, you know what, I feel much better, or he feels like he needs to be open with me as well. So how he treats me is like very important for me.
And then if that changes, then you no longer love him.
Then I know that, okay, my boyfriend or my husband is no longer loving me the same way that he used to. That means that no, there's something wrong. So I'll try and detect the problem, right? But if I can't fix it, or if it's fixable, we'll sort it out. That's why communication in every relationship is very important. But if it doesn't work, then the only thing to do is then to give each other a break and go separate ways.
But I think it also goes back to like what is love? Because for me, I feel like the closest thing that I can say is love is like between a parent and a child.
I feel love is like more like a commitment.
It
You
is
need
a
to be
commitment.
there for that person through thick and thin. You know, you can be in love with somebody and that person would just make you so angry. Like when you go to work, like even people can see this one, the wife, you know, or the husband. Like
True.
You know, but you need to be able to sit your partner down and say, look, I don't like when you do 1, 2, 3. It doesn't make me happy. Like I even go to work, people are asking me, oh, you're not giving me. Like why are you not giving me? Why am I not getting some?
But then it becomes my job to make you happy.
I think.
But as your part, like as your part, it is people who I love. It is your duty to make sure that your partner is happy. It is your partner's duty to make sure that you are happy. You guys are there to satisfy each other.
But another thing, you need to make sure that you are a happy person,
First,
not that you
obviously,
you
No,
expecting
that's-
me to make you
that's
happy.
True. I agree with you.
Yeah,
on that
I
one.
think one has to be right before they want to declare someone else right.
Yes, you need to be right. That's
So-
that's a good point.
So like, you know, like I said earlier on, it's just that thing that, you know, everybody is flawed, everybody has
Yeah.
something that's wrong with them. So you will find that same person that you madly love will annoy you so much you feel like you have no feelings towards, like you have no feelings, like you just actually want out. That's why love is a thing that probably would hold, like would make anyone a Mr. Right. Or
Back at home, we also have like neighbors. So like they say that they never liked each other, but it was like an arranged marriage thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you learn to
To love
love
the
that
person.
person.
Yeah.
Like the more you spend time with them every day, and then you end up
That love
liking them
develops,
and
yes.
loving them, and then it develops. So I don't know. I think in that maybe are we saying that we can love everyone if we were just to spend time with everyone?
Not always, hey,
I don't
because
know.
there are just people who, no matter how many times, like how you can be with them every single day of your life, but if your heart is not there, it's just
gone.
not there.
yeah,
But in some cases, it does work. Like it does. So it's a 50-50 thing.
my okay, I have like an example that I'm acquainted with. I know someone who, you know, when you're young, it's in our adolescent stage, we fall in love very quickly. We fall in love with the physical, we fall in love with the feelings. So in a case that like I know someone who fell in love when they were a teenager, like we all were like, this relationship is the one. And 15 years later, it's like, you know, they can't stand each other.
Yeah.
Like, does maturity also play a role? Like, you know, when you
I think growing
when you
up,
grow
feelings change, meeting other
People
people,
change.
going into different spaces. I think all of that does contribute.
Yeah, no, that's true. So now, guys, like, I wanna know, we've been speaking about love, right? But for some people, their Mr. Right is if the person is good and bad. Like, that's the Mr. Right. Feelings don't matter as much as intercourse. So if the person is like happily satisfied in bed, that's just it. That is Mr. Right for them. You'll find that a person keeps on going back to this ex, no matter how many boyfriends they've seen or how long they've been with the current boyfriend, but they keep on going back to that ex for that specific reason. What's your take on that?
Are they in a relationship? Or it's just an agreement that, you know,
Yeah.
It's just that I
Because
find
there's that thing
you're
that
so
people don't-
satisfying in bad, and like the person that I'm with or the people that I've seen in the past are just not as satisfying as you are, and therefore you are my Mr. Right.
Doesn't that fall under these things that I don't want to label or
I
label
don't
us
have
or
a relationship,
whatever?
nothing.
Let's just go with the flow or call me booty calls, whatever they call them.
Mr. Right feels like, you know, you're in for something serious, like a
commitment.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think like Mr. Right, like you'd be looking for Mr. Right if you just
In that way.
trying to satisfy your other things. But I feel like Mr. Right, man, it's just, it has to do with a person. Like, you we shouldn't allow society to paint a picture of what one should be. I should just personally have my own. You know, I love attention. I really
But
love.
it's difficult because we already, like, we're sort of brainwashed.
The society that we're in has caused us to believe that's how things are supposed to go a specific way. So Mr. Right has already been painted.
Yeah, so if he doesn't do this, then he's not the one.
Yeah.
If he doesn't buy you a car, or if he doesn't have a car, no, you can't date him. So that's basically like taking material things
Yes.
and now classing them under the Mr. Right.
Yes, and looks and
Yeah.
money and where he's from, his family.
Okay, ladies, so any final comments before we close off the show?
Just be honest about your feelings, whether your friends agree or don't agree, or family, or whatever it is, but just be true to yourself, and you know how you feel, you know what you want. Like I was saying before, that it's your life, you know what you have to deal with at the end of the day, so just do what you think is right for you.
Yeah, and I just, Mr. Right. He's there, Mr. Right. I don't know. I just, you have to accept me for who I am. So Mr. Right is someone that I would accept for who they are for me, yeah. Basically, and not let any people influence me on how relationships go. That's a lot of relationships fail because of many opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ladies. So, at home viewers, maybe you have found your Mr. Right. Please do let us know by sending us a message or by getting in touch with us on all our platforms at alldaydae. And don't forget the hashtag, the link up. That is all from us for today. For now, it's goodbye.